personality syndromes along with high functioning, overall high functioning. These are people who have organized their life in such a way that things do make sense. There are no great conflicts between their way of looking upon things and the way things actually are. And they are characterized, I would say, by very high moral standards, rigid conceptions about how things should be and how people should be. And they also have fought very hard to become as perfect as possible according to their own individual system of measuring. And the thing, this phenomenon that I believe I have observed within this category is that nevertheless that there is this gap between this person and this person's moral code and the actual world, and us less perfect people inhabiting this world. Becomes more and more apparent that her struggles really has unappreciated and unrewarded, unnoticed, despite all this energy she has invested in sticking to those more or less holy rules. Might perhaps actually be compared to a religious system. That too is a matter of personality rather than cognition, and usually not to be sorted as an actual illness. And approaching midlife, where I think the most natural way, what's supposed to be the normal development, is that at that point you have built up some kind of personal welfare, some basic security. You have hopefully some kind of career, and maybe advanced one or a few steps within that specific field of yours. And this is when you might perhaps slow down, turn down the heat a bit, and relax. Start working on some more hobby related activities, fixing with your boat or your motorcycle or something. Or you might all your life have this idea about running your own cafe or some second-hand market. Or tends to be those things, and it's pretty much gender specific too. However, those personality syndromes where you might actually have some other principles, those things that you have fought so hard for, and they are not parts of your professional being, and therefore they actually, I'm sad to say, those things are not rewarded. And you might start to notice this difference between how things should be and how she tries to make things into being, how she has struggled to follow the rules, at least as long as they are in line with her own value system. Otherwise you might notice this, that how can society be so wrong? Why will people not listen to me when I actually have the answers? And you might also notice that there are less perfect beings all around her who may perhaps be more successful, or they may appear as happy or harmonic despite these imperfections. I believe that this is very painful and really can't be tolerated. She will probably start making people aware of how things are wrong, how this person has been rewarded in a way that I have not, despite me doing all these things right. And she might, to those who are obviously deviant or falls outside the usual frames, something without becoming outcasts, without living after her system of values or striving for perfection and seem to be appreciated. And she might see this as a duty, making those people aware. You might believe that you are happy, but believe me, this is an illusion. And probably this has to do not with an I don't think it's necessarily destructive, but she feels some kind of duty to help this person recovering, advancing, be cured in some way. And then she will probably, that's my experience, look for and point out everything that's deviant, that's outside one norm or the other norm, and focus very much on that. If this person, despite her caring, doesn't seem to recover or change according to her value system, the problem may become very, very serious and emergent. And at some point, it will be very much necessary to actually make others aware, to have them aware of this growing problem, this stubbornness, this lack of insight, I would say, and make sure that we can't leave things before we know that either there is some actual solution on its way, or that this person is at least disarmed before becoming a threat to us all. And they usually also succeed into this because they have such flaming enthusiasm. She wouldn't like if this were not of great importance, right? And they have this ability of really getting people engaged emotionally, and it's also characterized by a hollowness that no one really has any clear idea about what they are fighting. They just know that it is something, and it is damn serious business. And it's really not uncommon that people do have their life completely wrecked and ruined because of this kind of campaigns, processes, and it will never end as long as this person is not completely under control, either starts working on herself, recovering from this wrong being, or the person is like I said, disarmed. Make sure that she can't do any harm against the surrounding. And this will in most cases only be clear to the person being in the middle of all this. All the others will only see that this should be rather easy. We've informed this one. We only expect her to take care of things, to become a bit more responsible for her ways, her living. And as long as she refuses, she's a potential danger, and we need to keep her isolated, apart from the social group, because she will have negative influence on normal people. And this becomes a completely impossible situation for person targeted. Then in reality these kind of things work to some degree, because I have seen it always ends into some kind of crash for this person, this frustrated person with this personality syndrome and high set of morals, because it really is constructed an artificial problem, and at some point people will notice things can only expand to a certain level. It's like a balloon. At some point it will explode, and this, I believe, should be like death for this person. And I believe that this also is actually the reason why this person being targeted won't resist, won't use the force necessary to defend herself, because she needs, she has some kind of she will probably be aware that when the others realize this, then this person has digged her own grave. So you avoid that confrontation because you know that this probably will cause her death. Then the sad thing is that this person being targeted instead actually will cause her own death in some way, because she will likely have her life wrecked. And I really do not know how to actually handle such situations.